Well, howdy everyone, Cowy, your average sim racer here. We're back in iRacing in the V8 Supercars series, season 3, round 2. We're at Watkins Glen with the boot. And I thought I'd take you out for a few laps, see if I can show you around the track and maybe put a hot one in. Alrighty, so the first thing you might immediately notice is something looks a little bit different with my simulator. I have just finished installing my new 32-inch 1440p screens. I'll put the name of them down in the description below if you're looking for something. They're actually a pretty good price. I think they were about $470 each, I think, or something like that. Anyway, what it's enabled me to do is a couple of things. I've been able to get my field of view, I think, around to 186 degrees. There's a bit of a look at my entire field of view. The other thing is that the bezel-free kits, notice that it's a lot thinner. I've still got a tiny thin black line on both bezels, but I think that's just the angle of the screens. I've got to bring the angle in a bit more. So, but that's a two-man job, so hopefully when my nephew comes over this week, we'll get in and do that. The other thing that I've loved is that I've been able to put my motor behind the screen and bring the screen forward and drop it down to just above the shaft of the wheel. And what that's enabled me to do is to use the in-car display now instead of having to use a phone as a dash. And I must admit, I'm absolutely loving
Watch
it.
your speed.
And of course, now I've had to dial back a few settings, sort of more the shadows, I think, than anything else, because I'm only running a 1080 as my graphics card. I'm sort of what I'm getting into the 70, 80 FPS. You know, when I'm running around by myself, probably 60 to 70 when I'm in traffic, like the start of a race, which is fairly good. But 1440, geez, it looks nice and clear. And as you can see, you know, I don't know how bad the angle, the distortion angle is out for you guys with the bezel-free kits and the bend for the triple monitors, but it's looking almost dead flat for me. You know, I'm close to making it look like it's one complete big massive curved screen. Now, the only other issue that I've got at the moment is because I've had to move the motor behind the screen, it's meant that the whole wheel assembly's gone forward. Now, I had it in a pretty good position where I could have the wheel a bit closer to myself, not have my arms extended too bad, and I felt was being really comfortable. Now that I've had to move the wheel forward, my seat actually won't go any further forward, and the wheel's probably about 50 or 60 mil too far away at the moment. I'll shift back a second there. So I've ordered an extension hub from SimCore, which I hope I should get in the next couple of days to get the wheel back to that nice comfy position. Alrighty, now we're coming up near the end of the lap here. Let's see if we can put in a decent time for you guys, or at least talk you around and show you as much. So we're going back to third, taking this tight swing and getting on the gas fairly early, but just being really smooth so that the car doesn't step out on you. Alright, coming down to the first corner, we want to brake just inside the 300. There's a heavy trail braking zone, so you really want to try and get tight there and keep the nose down so that you stay nice and tight. Now you can run off there, but it just costs you time. So I don't think there's an off track on that runoff, but it just costs you time. Right, it's full throttle through there. Now you want to try and go close to clipping that little white curb there to give you that right angle so you can stay on the gas. Now up here, this is the boot. We're going to try and brake just in front of the 300. Take all of this curb so that you don't take any of that one. Now we slowed down a little bit too much there, but did you see how much of that first curb that I took? Now try and stay in fourth and stay tight. I sort of stuffed that a little. You can carry a lot of speed through there. Back to third again, trying to stay fairly tight so that you can get on the gas. Some of these corners you're actually accelerating before you're hitting the apex, as long as you line them up right. Braking about the 200 or maybe just a bit inside. Normally you can sort of go second or third there. I'm still up in arms whether or not it's quicker to go through there in third or second. This is an important corner. Brake at the 200. Don't go too deep here, because you really can carry a lot of speed if you brake early and then accelerating again before the apex almost. Alright, keep it tight here. Be careful, the car has a tendency to slide out on you there. Alright, again, maybe a little bit of brake, just so that you can tuck it tight if you want to try and use all the curb. Alright, and again, back to third for... Alright, how do we go? We were in the 151 somewhere, which is not a bad start. Oh, the track is 50 degrees, so I've just jumped in a practice session. So that was a bit better run there. We found a couple of tenths that time. Let's see if we can stay flat here. Sometimes you've got to lift a little bit. Now you're actually better off lifting early there to get the car stable rather than lifting as you get through the come over the hill. Because it just costs you a lot of time. Alright. Again, see how much curve I took there? Now I just took a bit of curve there and see that you know, I got an off track for the second one and didn't get one for the first one. Alright. Alrighty. So again, braking probably just inside the 200. Back to third. I'm going to try third this time. I got a better apex run out of there. Let's see, just a bit of slide because I was eager to get on the gas. It's probably going to cost me a couple of tenths. Alright, this is probably one of the most dangerous corners because you can so easy to go deep there if you brake too far inside that 200 sign. Alright. Okay. It's been a little bit better lap, I think. Alright. Alrighty, so what we'll do is I think I'll take you to the pits on the next one. We'll keep this a short video. And hopefully it helps you guys. I'll take this one wide just to show you that there's no off track there. If you cut to the grass there's an off track, but you look at how much that cost me. Probably 2 tenths. Goes to say that I didn't put a perfect lap through there before either. I think I've done a 148 before on this track, but this is 50 degree temp, so I have no idea how. Alright, we didn't get an off track there. Try and stay tight because you can keep that tight and really get on the gas there. I think there's a few tenths to be found there. I haven't quite got that right yet. Alright. Yeah, we're going to show you the pit entry this time. Around. I might try this in second. I think it was probably a little slower than going in third, but I made sure I did short shift. Alright, braking at the 200, back to second, and you can get on the gas. Be smooth, because again, if you give it too much, it'll just step out on you. These cars have a tendency to do that. Alright. It's another one of those corners. Accelerate too early, it's very easy to lose it there. Too wide there, didn't quite get that right, so notice how much I had to come off and use a bit of brake. Alright, so for the pit entry we stay tight and we really want to put...
Watch the speed.
Alright, so I just tried to shift there, but what happens is when you put the pit limiter on it doesn't let you shift, but you pretty much come around that corner, tiny bit of accelerator and then you brake and it comes in. Alright.
9, 8,
fairly long pit lane.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop.
Just remember to brake a bit earlier because you're doing 70 instead of sort of 50 or 60 in some of the other tracks. Alright guys, what we might do is, so let's take it back and show you what was my best lap there. That was the 151, so that was lap 5. Let's just adjust the screen a little bit for us. And bring that down a little bit so we can sort of see the lines. Now I have no illusions of this being a great lap, but we'll see how we go, eh? All right. So again, I think, you know, big, if you can get really tight in there, you can carry a lot of speed. And it's, again, a big, heavy trail braking area. Full throttle through here. I think I might have had to just lift and modulate a bit there. See how I took a little bit of that curb. I'll try and get a straight line now. I think this is one of the big ones. This is where I found a bit of pace. You can take a lot of that first curve. So you'll note I'm braking I broke a bit early there, but see how much of that I took. When I took that one there, that was an off track. But the first one I took a lot of. Alright, so actually this lap wouldn't have counted. And again, I think I lost a few tenths there because I didn't quite get on it right. Wasn't too bad, probably could have tucked it a bit more and used a bit more on the exit. So when she tried to step out there, that's a bit of a danger corner, that one, so just be wary of that. This setup that I was using was actually for the OSR development series that's running tonight. So I deliberately haven't made any adjustments to the setup apart from the brake bias, because it's actually a fixed setup series. So we might revisit Watkins Glen a bit later, maybe put up a race where I've sort of tweaked the setup and got a bit better setup going. But the car didn't feel terrible. And for being such a hot track, you know, I'm surprised actually at the level of grip that I had. So it'll be interesting to see what times guys are doing, you know, with these very hot temperatures. Alright guys, well, I'll sign off now. Hope you enjoyed that. And if you got any questions about my rig, feel free to ask me down below and I'll do my best to answer. But I'm really happy with my new screens. It's looking great. So next on the cards is get my butt kicker working again. My amp blew up, so I need another amp. But anyway, guys, take it easy. Cowy signing off, and we'll see you next time.